Hello ladies and gents, there's another video brought to you by Ant, and today's video is about my Carebara diversa getting the big guns out. I mean, just look at this picture, she's absolutely a monster, she's huge. Now, I don't believe this is the biggest major yet, but she's pretty big. I mean, look at her compared to the workers. I'm also connecting a new nest to these girls because they desperately need it, and a new outworld, a fairly big one too. But let's not dilly-dally around. This is what they're in currently. As you know, I've got the Wakooshi, I think it's the S2 nest, I think it is. I've got my old AliExpress nest and I've got this nest. But if we look in here, it's rammed. But let's get a macro shot and have a look inside. As you can see from these macro shots, there is absolutely no space in there at all. I've got minor workers, there's the queen there, she's pretty. I've got minor workers running all over the place. I've got different sized media workers and quite a fair few majors. I don't quite think I'm there with the super majors yet, but what we will do is we'll get that photo from the last video, and if you haven't seen that video, check out the clip in the top right corner now, where I've got all the different workers from a ripped off Google, I think it was. So we'll have a look at that and see where we think we are with the majors, super majors anyway. And there is some very big pupae cutting around, and I think that might be hopefully the next stage of my super majors. But yet again, if we look here, it is absolutely rammed full of brood and workers, and there clearly isn't enough space for them now. So what I'm going to do is I've got a MS 5.5 from Wakooshi, which, oh, she's gorgeous, and I have major there. I'm getting distracted, sorry. I've got a MS 5.5 from Wakooshi, and I will be connecting that up today. And I've also got his S5 nest, which was part of my Solenopsis setup, but as we all know, they've gone, and I'll be connecting it up a bit later. I actually got this Conley from Ant Antics a little while ago now, so I'm shamelessly going to plug it because he just recently gave me a discount code. Now that discount code, look, oh, there's Carebara affinis there if you fancy them too. Sidetracked. My discount code is HUD is good 2022, as you can see here on screen. If you use that, you'll get a 5% discount. Now I get nothing from this discount, you're using this code, other than you guys getting a 5% discount, so it's purely for your benefit if you choose to use it. But if you look here, he's all still got some Carebara diversa in stock. Now these seem a bit more expensive, I'm not sure because I didn't click on them. It doesn't want to work for me, so I'm clicking it several times. When you're going to work, when you're going to work. There you go. I think it's just my iPad because I was recording the screen at the same time. Now he has got Conleys of 20 to 100 workers, and it's got all the stats on there that you could possibly want for this species. And you've also got these videos, of course, which in my earlier videos I give a how to look after them, as it were, induction guide is what I was going to go by. But anyway, check out my discount code and check out the store and get yourself some either Carebara diversa, which I've got, or Carebara affinis. As you guys know, I love the Wakooshi MS series of nests. They're tried and tested with a number of my species and they've always performed really well, but you can't find them easily on his website anymore because he's got his Gen 3 stuff out and the MS nest, the Gen 2 stuff. And the way you find it is by hitting housing and all products in the bottom right corner there. And once you tap on that, you'll get everything, which includes his MS series. You'll even find those super massive outworld that I originally had my Solenopsis in as well. That big like was it S7 outworld, just for the point of note. But anyway, here's the MS 5.5. Now I do love these, like I said. And also, because today is the day of dropping promo codes, you can use Ant's Hood as a promo code from Wakooshi and you'll get 10% off. But anyway, what you'll also notice there as well, that mine have an exit, a two-way exit, so it's like a travel through it, as you'll see with the one that I've got when I show you it shortly. If you want that, just put it in the comments, because the one you'll get otherwise has only got one entrance, but that's just personal preference. Unfortunately, when my MS nest arrived, as you can see here, the gypsum in it had cracked. Now, I did tell Wakooshi, as this was the photo I sent him, and he did offer to replace it, but I didn't bother. Kind of wish I did now, but I'll show you that why in a bit later. Now, I don't even know why I bother showing you guys these, because I'm always a car crash with it, and my angles are always pants. But as you can see here, because I've actually took the red filter off, they are really rammed in there, and this is what I was talking about. Because if you look at the outworld as well, they're really busy in there too. So clearly they need a new nest. And this is how I go about doing it, I guess. Yeah, no, as I normally do, I disconnect it, stuff it with cotton wool, so that I can reconnect it again. I'm not going to sit through this for hours on end like I normally do, because you've seen me car crash this many a times, and you know exactly how it's going to pan out. But what I will show you, because I didn't actually get a video of it until I connected it, this is what I'm talking about with the MS, how we've got that through channel through, where I've got two entrances and exits opposite each other. What that's going to allow me to do is connect the old nest, so they have to go through the new nest to get to the outworlds. And that's the way I like to play it with them, really. Kind of force them to use it rather than expecting them to move and stuff like that. Now, if they choose to move out of the old nest and solely into that, then happy days. But either way, I'm not too fussed. But as you can see here, I'm just getting the tubing ready and stuff like that, but we've all seen this before, but let's connect it all up anyway. So as I'm connecting it up, I think I do this fairly quickly actually. I just pull it out quickly and ram it in. Now you are going to crush a couple of ants. It's inevitable when you've got such a large colony like I have, but it is the way it is. And I've got a couple of escapees, but I don't think two's too bad considering how normally I do it as a massive car crash. But I've got my halo light in the way, so you can't really see too clearly. But I do, if memory serves, get a time lapse of them moving into this as I'm just policing the other twos up. The other loosies out, should I say, the ones I've got out loose. But as you can see here, from both ends now, they're starting to look into it and be like, well, what's this doing here? This is something new. And this is what I mean by like making sure that they're kind of forced to go into the nest area, so they kind of have to use it and have a look around and see what it's like. But what I have done as well since then is I've constantly hydrated one side of this. Now I only hydrate one side of it because then that gives them that gradient if they choose to use it. So they can put all the brood in one side, and then if they choose to put brood on the other side, then it's a bit drier, they can do. Because it's all about giving ants that option of humidity and heat, have a gradient, heat one side of the nest, not both sides of the nest. And definitely don't heat the side of the nest you've hydrated, because that will make for a disaster of condensation and dripping onto your ants and potentially killing them, so just be mindful of that. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I like. I only hydrate one side of it. It's an idea, tip for you guys if you want to use it. But anyway, let's look at this time lapse. Now what I love about this time lapse is you can actually see them going in and spreading out and exploring it. But what you also notice as well, how badly the cracking is, that part of it's not hydrated because there's that visible space from the crack. You'll also notice that they're getting on top of the gypsum, between the gypsum and the clear acrylic. Now I'm not too fussed because this has been connected for a couple of days now and they can't get out of it, and my Solenopsis did the exact same. In fact, my Solenopsis burrowed into it as well, where they could potentially get out of it. But these guys, I don't think they can get out of it. They're going to be fine because, like I said, a couple of days online and they're cool. But I love the way how they've spread out into the nest and they're checking it out, and they've already started moving seeds and stuff that I've put in there through into the main nest. So this is the old nest after a couple of days, and this is the new nest. Let's get a macro shot and have a look. So now it's a lot less busy in there. We can actually have a good look inside. Now, like I said, the brood is predominantly still in here still, but there's still packs of workers cutting around in the new nest, but we'll see that in a second as well. As you can see, you can get a better look at the majors now. I definitely think I've moved on to the second largest, maybe the third largest majors that I could possibly get for these girls, but that looks huge, but I haven't quite seen it yet. Now, I think this is the one that was my cover photo. It was actually out in the outworld when I took that photo, but we'll talk a bit more of that in a bit because I'll put it back up so you can have a good look. She wasn't overdoing anything constructing the outworld. I think she was just cutting around being anti, I guess. Anyway, as you can see, there is still tons of brood, so these guys really need to up their, I need to up their protein intake to them, because I think they're going to be very protein hungry at the moment. But as you can see into this new nest, they've not got crazy busy in there, but they've definitely been moving stuff, food into there as well to process, because Carebara love to take food into the nest area as well, where they can process it in relative safety from anybody that could possibly steal that. But there's also quite a few of the medias, I would say, probably mid to majors or smaller majors cutting around as well. Now, if we look here, this is what I was talking about, the cracking, because if I can focus in, they've excavated a little hole there now through the gypsum, and they've been depositing that, as I zoom out, along the peripheries you can see here. Yet again, my Solenopsis did this and never got out of this outworld, so it's not something I'm really concerned about at this stage. And like I said, the rest of it's fairly empty. They've not overly committed to moving into it yet, but they've got the room to expand. And if you remember before where I said in an earlier video where I wasn't concerned about them using the nest because it was too big for them to dump waste into, because they expand very quickly, and like they did with the old nest, they'll just move it out when they want the space. Now, I've also connected the nest to a new outworld as well. As you can see here what I've done, I've reorganised it, I've put them on my main desk, but I've disconnected the AliExpress nest, but I've kept the Wakooshi S1 nest, as you can see here. Now, it is very dirty. I will clean it up once it's settled down a little bit more. I've got room to expand if I need to, and I've now connected the S5 nest that my Solenopsis were last in. You will also notice as well, I've opted for a mineral oil barrier instead of a fluon barrier. And I just want to see how they got on with it in a larger setup like this. Hopefully they won't stick anything to it. What I've noticed recently as well, that the larger majors, such as this lady here, have started coming out into the outworld and actually doing some processing of the kills and stuff like that. Now, this hasn't happened before, so it's definitely a change in behaviour from what I've seen before. And I also think, looking at this pupae there, I have got some big girls coming soon. Now earlier in the video I referenced to a photo that I put up in my last video, and this is it, where I had all the workers laid out. Now before, I think I only had workers up to this size, but now I think I've got workers up to this size. So I'm almost there, but not quite there to super major level yet. Well, not the super duper big super majors anyway. But saying that, looking at some of my pupae and some of the big old heads in there that I couldn't quite get a good look at, I might potentially have majors up to this size, but time will tell. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I do love doing videos on my Carebara because it gives me the opportunity when filming to get my eye in to really enjoy the colony and seeing how they're progressing. So I do love doing videos on them. But I do need to warn you guys, my videos going forward may be slightly inconsistent. When I say that, I mean I won't be regularly every week, potentially, because I'm going through a lot of upheaval in my personal life at the moment and a lot of changes coming to me. So bear with me, I am still going to be about, but don't worry about me. I'll be fine. But please join me in saying a big thank you to my Patreon supporters, because without them my channel wouldn't be what it is today. So thank you to Adam W, Ant Antics, Anty Matters, David D, Jason W, Paul A, Pjants, PJGrant and the D530 Skiing. If you want to join my Patreon, by all means check the link in the description below. I've also got YouTube membership. If you want to become a member, there is a link below this video. But for those that are, I need to say a big thank you to Anty Matters, PJGrant and Wakooshi. Thank you for everybody for all your support. I do much appreciate it, especially with stuff going on in my life at the moment. Any support, being it, hope you're okay, or anything like that, it's a big help for me. But anyway, I will stop talking rubbish. Thank you very much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it and look forward to seeing my next one. Bye-bye for now.